Welcome back everyone to Mudstomp Solves. Today we're having another look at a different pen and paper puzzle, one of my favourites at the moment, to be honest. This is again from the KrazyDad website, so again if you search KrazyDad on Google you can find that website, and there's a stack of different puzzles, but today we're going to be looking at what's called the cow and cactus. There are different variations of similar puzzle out there, but to be honest, I don't think I've seen much other than on KrazyDad with it. He does have a couple of variations himself, but the general gist of this puzzle is that you need to separate the cows from the cactuses, and in particular, the cows need to be in a pen all together on the inside of this pen, and the cactuses need to be on the outside. So in this case, for instance, if we look over here, we have a cactus right against the edge. All the cactuses have to be able to get out to the edge. So you'll see in a bit, I'll be drawing green crosses to represent, if you will, more cactuses or pathways that the cactuses can get out to the edge. And then the cows are going to be inside. So I'm going to be drawing a line between each cow and cactus, and then gradually filling that line in to be one giant loop that goes around the whole puzzle in a very squiggly kind of way. And it's going to include all the cows, and it's also going to include all these numbered circles. They are indicators of where the pen, if you will, that square, whatever the number is, can see that many open spaces, vertically or horizontally. It doesn't worry about diagonally. So yeah, we're going to sort of work on that and we're going to see how we go. But I'm doing number 31 out of volume 1, book 3 that KrazyDad has produced. So there's a lot of them there if you want to have a go at these and get good at them. These are the larger ones. You can get smaller ones, but I really enjoy the larger ones. And I am going to warn you now, if you haven't noticed already on the thumbnail or whatever, this is probably going to be a long video. If it's not super long, it'll probably be because I'm going to skip some of it in the editing. Maybe depending how I go. I don't know. We're just going to see what happens, because it can take me up to about an hour to do these, generally speaking. But yeah, we're just going to see how we go. Now, I'm also going to be using 2 different pens because I use 4 pens that have the clicking function, and I don't want to have constant clicking in the video. But I'm going to use black lines to indicate the pen, and black dots in a square to indicate a square that's inside the pen. And then I'm going to use, as I said, green crosses to indicate cactus areas or areas outside the pen. So yeah, that's the basic gist of the rules, and there's a few little ways to sort of help you get along a bit. I'm going to indicate some when I get to them. We'll get to some very early on, I think, and yeah, I'll fill you in when we get to it, basically. But hopefully you get a gist for it, and you can see how enjoyable it is. So give me a moment, because I've forgotten my second pen. I'm going to get set up and then we'll get started. So here we go. All right, and I'm back. So a bit of interruption there, but got my 2 pens ready to go, and here we go. So I'm going to start in the top left and just work my way around. So initially speaking, looking at these numbered circles and the cactus here, I know that these are going to have to be separated by the line. Now, this presents our first situation when we can take advantage of a little bit of setup. So this box here, I know is going to be included in it, in the pen, if you will. The main reason I know this is in the back of my head, I automatically have, if I have a corner and I have 2 sides of that corner on one thing, the pen or the cactus side, I know that the other part to that corner has to be included in whatever that happens to be. If you imagine it, you could think, if this was going to be a cactus, then I would need a fence going here and here, and then I'd have 2 corners of fence meeting each other, in which case I wouldn't have one complete circle. I'd have multiple circles, so to speak, or something like that. So a bit like a slither link, if you've played that before. So anyway, so that puts us in good stead there. So we've already got a little bit going here, and it'll be good to work on. Counting out, so having a look at this 6 for starters, we can see that if I was to extend all the way to the left with the 6, I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm going to need 5 and 6 still. So I know that these 2 cells are going to be included in the pen also, so I can include them there. Unfortunately, it goes further this way. Now, this 6, if it reached to this 4, that 4 would no longer have 4 cells connected. It would be a whole lot more. So I know it can't reach that far. So at least this one maybe, possibly one of these two, is going to be a cactus. But let's assume it's this one for a moment. If I count from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I can't extend this way, unfortunately, and know where the 6 gets completed at the moment. But that's fine. Given we've talked about the 4, I will put the fence behind the 4 though, because that's included there. Also, looking down from the 4, we have this 2. If I was to fill in between them, that would give us 3 for the 4, but it would also give us 3 cells for the 2. So I know that they can't be connected because the 2 has to only see 2 cells. And this is our first pen switch, where I'm going to put a green in to show that that's going to be part of the cactus section. Can't do much more with the 2. The 4 we can't say for sure, except that if I go out this way to the left with the 4, I know it can't connect with the 6. So in a maximum extension, we're going to get 1, 2, 3 there, and then I can't go there. So that means the 4th has to come out this side. So we know the 4 is going at least 1 cell to the right. Moving back over to the left here, the 7. So we know the 7 against the outer wall needs a pen around it. And we know this cow and this 7 can't be connected to the cactus. And then we've got the corner there, dot. I might also note with this corner clue, it works the other way around with the cactuses, as we'll no doubt see at some point or another. Now, checking the 7, if we extend all the way up, we can here. We've got 1, 2, 3, and then this will be the 4th. Then 5, 6, and 7. So we know we've got at least that far for the 7. These last 2 could be there or could be out there. We're going to have to wait and see. And then we split that cactus off from that dot. This does mean the 3 now has 3 cells connected to it. So we know it can't extend down here. So this one is going to be a green section, and we know that it's going to be walled off in all directions because of the 9 and the cow, which also means looking down left, we gain that cell there. Going back to the 3, we're going to cross that off, and then we can't extend left, so we know there has to be a pen there and a green to the left of the 3 to block that off. And that also means that's getting separated here. Now this green X is going to have to reach to the outer edge somehow. So it's either going to go up in the direction of the 6 or to the left to block the 7. Either way, one of those eventually will be restricted enough to extend in here and tell us which way that'll be. So we'll wait to find out. Now, at the same token, you can keep going separating pens, and we will soon, but I want to show you something as well. So this cactus here has to escape somehow, and because of that, we know that it has to extend out into this direction, and then that one can't go up or down. It's going to have to go right again. Oh, bit of a sticky bit there. And then this one can't go up or right, so it has to come down. And then we have 2 open ones, so we don't know where it's going to go from there, but that's given us a bit to go with, and it means that we can fill in more fence. So we're going to just put fence between all the dots, numbers, and cows, and those crosses. This corner then means that that's going to be included there. So the 6 is now up to 5 spaces. It might have this next one, or it might go back in there. We'll have to wait and see. What else have we got? This other green X section again has to come out, so that's going to go down there a bit. I think it's my pen that's sticking, but anyway. And then that can't go left or right, so it's going to come down again. And now we have 2 open bits, but it does hem in this 9, which is really nice. Because it's blocking the 9, we know the 9 could start here, might not, but if it did, as far as it can go left, that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 down, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 at least. And now, the interesting thing about that too is, just before we fill in some lines here and whatnot, if we count what we've drawn out for the 9 so far, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We need 1 more. If we put the 1 more there, we're going to gain this as well, which would be 2 more. So we can't do that. So I know that that has to be the end of the pen there, and that has to be a green section in here, which means the 9th one is actually going to be that one there, and we can cross the 9 out now. We then put in the pen around the bounds of the 9, and we separate any dots from cactuses and numbers from cactuses that we can in the area, just continuing around things that are connected near what I'm doing. Alrighty, while we're here, this 15 I'm going to separate from the outer wall along with the 8. Now, the interesting thing is too, looking at this 15 and this 8 being next to each other, because they're connected, I know that vertically this 15 can only have up to 8 because otherwise it would expand past the 8. So I can use that as a counting clue to see how far out the 15 is going to go as a minimum. So if we've got 8 vertically, we can then go 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Now, because it's connected to the 9, we know that a maximum of 9 is going to go this way. So if we have a look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the maximum we can have is one more on this row, potentially, and that means 7 of them are going to have to be here, which means that 8 is going to see 7 at least, if not 8. Well, actually, that's an interesting point too, because when we look at that, if this 8 has to see 7 vertically, it needs one more, but we can't put the one more there because that'll give us 2 more. So that would imply that's going to be 8 vertically. So I'm going to check that one more time just to see. So if we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the 9, if there's 8 there already, and if we go one more for the 9, hang on, there's 8 there. If we do 9, that'd be 6 more, and that'd be 7 for the 8. Let me count that differently. I feel like I've mucked that up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 with the 8. That means we need 6 more, and we can only go one more there. So yeah, I'm going to leave that. I feel like that's going to be a cross, but I feel like whatever I thought the first time around, I've muffed up thinking again. So I don't want to draw it in until I know for sure. Just trying to think. If there's 8 there, then there needs to be, so that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there potentially could be one more for the 9. And if there is one more for the 9, there can only be 7 here. Right. So there's 7 or 8 listed here. If there's 8, that's not going to be used. If there's 7, that would force the 8 to look out there, and that would gain one more on top of that, and that doesn't work. So therefore, we can't have 7 here. So going back to here again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if I want to put one more there, that forces that to be 7 up this way. Is that correct? Because that'll be a full 9. And then, yeah, that's right, because there's 8 here. If we imagine there's 8 there, we've counted out that far with 8. If we add one more, there can only be 7. And then that would need to be an extra, and that would be 2 extra. So that doesn't work. So therefore, we can't add one there for starters, because that's going to overextend that and cause it to be the extra one. So that means this 9 has to go down 1. That's the 9 done. Just double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And that's going to cap that bit there. And then we're going to have, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we need 6 more. So 1, 2, and 6 makes 8. And therefore that can't be used. Yep. All right. That was a bit of convoluted. Hopefully you went caught up with that. So just to say it simply again, if I added one more to there, that would mean we could only have 7 vertically here, and you would need to add the 1 to the 8 here, but that would connect it to that dot, making it an extra 2. So therefore we can't have it that it's 7 there. It needs to be 8 or less than 6, and it can't be less than 6 because we need that many to fill it, and so it's going to have to be 8. So we're going to figure out the 8 eventually. I'm just looking here while I'm here. So this is going to be a green because of these 2 greens on the corner. And then if we check the 8 here, so if we go from here, we have, which we can't actually, we can't go from here because this green needs to get out. So if this green goes all the way up here and comes out here, that's the maximum that can be from here. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now that caps that off, and then just checking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we need 3 more still. And the 3 more, if this 3 can't connect with that, so that's out anyway. So that gives an end cap for that. which is good because if the 3 connected with there, it'd have more than 3. I'm going to come back to this. This is going to go out. I'll just draw it now. 1, 2, 3. I'll draw around that later in a minute. That then means that the 3 needs to go vertically. So let's just check this again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that can't go there because this green area has to come out through that. So that's all in there for the loop. And this goes around here and down there. And then that means the 8 is done. And if that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, that's the 15 done as well. We're going to check this 12 in a bit. Right. So then the 12, that's 8 there, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And it's only just enough space to fit. So that's nice. There's the 12 done as well. And then the 3, 1, 2, 3. So the 3's done and it can't come out past there. So that's going to be a green over here. I must say this particular logic I've just used here, like you do use it a lot, but at the same time, I've never used it quite so early in a game before. And particularly the predictive nature of this square, I don't think I've done that much before. So I'm actually quite happy with that piece of logic, if I can put it that way. All right, having a look at this 3, there's 2 there. If I put the 3rd one there, it connects with that cow, so we can't do that. So that's going to be a green square next to the 3 on the left. It could go down 1, could go right 1, could go up 1. So I'm going to have to leave that for the 3rd. Although this green needs to come out, so it can't go up actually. That green's coming out there. So it's going to be right or bottom. Now the green, on the other hand, it's coming out. It can't, I mean, it could potentially be there, but it can't continue out there. So it's going to have to come out 1 more yet again. So therefore we've got that there. Excuse me while I get a sip of water. I'm always amazed at how rough my voice gets doing these sometimes. But anyway, if you're not aware, I'm a teacher for a living, so I do a lot of talking anyway, but for some reason recording talking always gets a bit affected, so go figure. Alrighty, so looking at this 12, because it's now constrained by quite a lot because of these 2 greens. So assuming it can go down 1, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's going to be 10, 11, and 12. And that means there's 1 extra there, which means that should be the 12 without this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that's going to cap the 12 off at the top there. Put the green in just to signal that down. And then it can't go down, so it's crossed off. And so that's going to be a green there. And then that's the 12 sorted for now. This 2 now has 2, so we've got to cap each direction to make sure we don't go past anymore. And then put a green around each part. All right, there we go. And that also means, because we've got all these corners now, that we've got greens here and here as well. And we actually have quite a bit to circle. So I'm going to put some lines in for starters, just to separate all these crosses from the cows and the dots and the numbers where it's known for the moment. There, and then that one there. Flipping over, following this green then, this cactus needs to go up and out that way to get out of this area. So there we go. Getting a nice progression here, I've got to say. Right. This green's going to go up or right, potentially. We can't say for sure right now. This green, however, has to keep coming out. So we need 1 more out there because it's got to connect to that outer edge somewhere. We don't know if that's going to be connected yet. And this could be connected there too, or out there, or both. So that's fine. We'll leave that for the moment. Just doing a quick scan, making sure I haven't missed any obvious walls or anything. I don't think so. So we're going to move over to the right here a bit. Make use of what we've got going. So there's that bit and that bit. That goes around there. That means this is a dot because of the corner. That also means that this green now goes up out here to escape. So we've definitely got that going on there. That seals that. This cow has to get separated from that. And I'm just checking, this green could come out to the right or up still, so we've got to wait and see on that one. The 7 actually on the back left, we haven't finished that. 1, 2, I must have put that in a while ago. Anyway, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's the 7 capped off there. And I've been able to put this wall in because I know the green's going to have to come out like we discussed before. So that's that. And then that means the 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And that needs to cap the end there for a green. There's the 6 done. Put the green in there. That means the 4 can't go out there. So the 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we need to cap that end off so that it can't reach any more. And that's going to be green on the other side of that. Alrighty. And just cap around this cow while we're here. Alright, heading back down here where we started fencing this, I'm just going to put in some quick fences between all these cow bits and these green bits, just so that we've got as many in this area done in already as we can. And then I'm going to go back and check a few. So that's going to be a black dot because of the corner. This is going to be green because the cactus has to come out from there. This is a corner for green, so that goes there. This cow and this cross need separating, which means outside of the corner is going to be a cross again. And then we can seal that cow off. Right, I think that's it for the moment there. And looking at this 5, there's way too many options to figure out. The 6 is much the same, although it does have 4 connected already. But that's the thing, if that 4 then goes here, so 5, and that would be 6, but that would mean the 5's connected to 6 more. So we can't do that, or 1 too many if you will, 6 instead of 5. So that's going to have to be a green here, which means this is a green also for the corner. That would suggest then the maximum we can get going down is 5 because of the 5. So the 6 is going to need 1 coming out at least, if not 2, because the 5 could still have 1 to the side instead. Okay. Continuing this top right corner, the 3 doesn't do much at the moment. This 4's already got 3 altogether, so it can't go down there to the 4th because it'll get a 5th. So rule that out. That's a green. And because of the corner, this is also a green. That then means the 4th is going to be to the right here or the left here. Not sure yet. This cow has to come out. Has a pen coming out this way. Assumably left or top is going to be another one for this too, but we'll leave it for the moment. Okay. Just having a scan. All right, let's fill in some of this very top right. So the 3's separated from the wall there. The 2 also. The 2 can't come down because it'll be connecting to all these ones here. So that's definitely a cactus in there. And these cows have to be walled off from the outer edge. So there we go. And that means that we have 2 corners to fill in dots. And that means the 2 has 2 squares. So we can put walls in either side of the 2 and around. So then we know that's green and that's green. That then separates the 3 off. Yep. All right, this 10 is probably fairly restricted. Let's have a look. If it starts all the way up here and all the way out left, that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Actually, because it's connected to the 3, this 3, actually, let's solve the 3 first. I've just realized I've seen that. Okay, so the 3 has 2 already. If this is the 3rd, that'll create a 4th, so that can't happen. So that's going to be like that, which means we've got a couple of X's in there. This 10's really restricted now. We'll get to that next. And so the 3 is going to have a 3rd one down and then a wall or, you know, a part of the fence. So that's the 3 done. So this 10, if it starts at the top, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Can go potentially more. Those 2 could be there or down there, so we'll leave that for the moment. But that's a good gain. This 4 now can't connect up because we've already got 2, so it can't go up there because it'll gain too many extras. So that's going to be like that. Could go all the way out or more down. We'll have to wait and see. This 3 is not much happening, so let's go back up to the 10. So this 10, if it's all fully left and up, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This will be 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So it's got the potential of 2 more there. If it starts down here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and that'll be the 10th going up. So that has to be a dot. Now let's just check that fully. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 at the moment. 8, 9 would be the 10 there. 8, 9 would be the 10 there. So it's 7, it needs 3 more. It can either gain 2 up or 2 down, and then the last one has to be this left. So yeah, it's going to be up or down, depending. We'll find out. The 3's done. Excuse me, just a bit more water for the throat. So the 3's finished. We can cap that on all sides and cross that out. Lots of greens to add in then. That's nice. This makes the corner. And then if we wall that bit there, that's another corner. And then we've got a bunch of walls to put in. Or fences, if you prefer, for a paddock. Alright. Right, that went in. That's around. That's another fence. Yep. Okay, so yes, the 10's either going up or down. We'll find out later. This 3 now has 3 parts. 3 cells, 3 sections around it. So we're going to wall all of that off. Lots more green around it. And corners. So there we go. Excuse me. Right. So that's that for the moment. Those greens are separated off them, which means the 4 is constricted. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then that's going to cap that for the end of that. And then we have a green here. This is going quite smoothly, but it is taking a while. We're already up to about 27 minutes of recording time. So, like I said, it is going to be a long one, but I enjoyed these a lot. So I hope you're really enjoying watching it and seeing the logic behind it, hopefully. This cow here needs to be separated off. So we're just going to move down a bit and see how we go. I don't think I can connect a lot here anymore at the moment. What you'll probably realize with this is I am leaving bits. Obviously, I can't solve them right now, but eventually you'll be able to find out certain parts need to be connected and they have to go certain ways. And then once you do that, you have whole sections cut out. And then you realize that, like, for instance, up here at the top, that this cow might need to connect to the 3 because, you know, it's just the pathway to connect or something like that. So, yeah, it's sort of a flow on once you get enough of the puzzle solved that it sort of indicates more elsewhere. Alrighty, separating off some cacti down here. There's a bit of a step motion, so we've got some corners to fill in. That's nice. Alrighty. The 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we get 1 off in that direction. It can't connect to this 2 over here, so that could be the green or anywhere here, but assuming it's as far as it can go, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is forced up there. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 more to figure out at some point. Okay. All right, continuing on the right-hand side, we've got the 5 here. And that's restricted to possibly 1 above, so that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that means that's all of it. It has to be the 1 as well. So let's encircle all of that with fence as best we can and as much as we need to. So that's the 5 done. That then means we have a corner here, so that's nice, so to speak. The cow needs to connect to the rest of the pen, so there we go. And that also means that this is now a green, which means we have that walled off like so. So this is an ending here, And so we know that either it's going to have to connect out through there, or if these become crosses, it's going to connect up through there. But this 10 should be solvable now. So let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go. Okay, so that's that and there. And that's the 10 done. This 3 then has 1, 2, can't be 3 there because it'll create 4, so that needs to be a green. And the 3 comes down here and that rules that off. So there we go, and now we have the connection to outside for all of this area. This cow needs to come down to connect to here. So there's that. The 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that would be, so it can't connect there. So we have another green now. Funny how I just solved that just after telling. Anyway, 1, 2, 3, 4 there, that's the 4 done. I must say at the moment, corner again, this is looking like a bit of an easier puzzle compared to some of the others I've done. Some of them have had a lot, well, I've had to spend a bit more time looking at it to figure out the constraints, I'll put it that way. But this is going well. It still might have that down the bottom, to be honest, so we'll see. All right, 2's done, corners for the greens there. So there's the 2, fence there, fence here, fence over there. This cow's isolated, it's going to come out that way. That fences that bit off, which means that's a corner for black in both of those directions, or for the pen. Okay. This area is probably going to come down to, I'm trying to think, whether this is the connection between this left side and this right side, or if it connects further down below. So we'll see. That being said, I'm noticing here this 2 can't connect up to there, so that's going to fence that off there. So that's nicely done there. Looking in that area, I don't think there's much more to do here right at the minute. So yeah. All right, moving back over to here where we were before. So this is an isolated section, which has got 3 outs potentially, so we'll leave that. We'll just start marking some more little bits and pieces. That 4 is interesting. There's 3 there already, so it's not going to be able to do much more, but that's okay. Similarly with the 6, separate that 4 off the cacti, this 5 off this cacti, this cow off this cacti. Just get some small bits and pieces in here. There's a corner and another corner. This cow, sorry, comes off there, and the 5. Look at the 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up that way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in that direction. We've got 4 now, so that can't be the 5th because we're going to 6th. So that's going to be capped off there. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. There we go. And that's a corner. There goes the 5. Put the green in here. Cow has to enter the pen somewhere. Okay, I'm just having a look at this 6. I can't connect down there because this 4 would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that can't connect downwards with that 4. So there's another cross. Then the 6 is 1, 2, 3, 4. If that was 5, 6, 7, so the 6 can't even go that way. Very restricted 6 without realizing it. And then that's a corner for the greens. So then the max you can have is 4 up that way. So we need 4, 5, 6 there at least. That then creates this corner, so that has to be included. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's the 6 done. Cap off this left-hand side. Cross that out, put the 5 down. Green corner. Separate from the 7. This cacti has to come out, so it's going to come out to there. It will have to continue, but it might go up or down. We don't know just yet. This 4, so the 6 is capped. That has to be capped there actually. So that means that's a green. Excuse me, dropping the pen. And that means, oh, and then we gain the dot from the corner, and that's the 4 done there then. So that then caps off this and this as well. And we've got our crosses again. It's actually moving quite quickly today. I'm quite happy with this progression. Might actually get this under an hour easy, maybe even under 45 minutes ish. See how we go. All right. Right. So going back down to this bottom bit, this will probably depend on what happens up further, I think. This cow's going to have to connect somewhere. So if this comes up and around, for instance, then it'll come down and around through here, something like that. But yeah, just checking. Yeah, nothing I can do with it right at the minute. All right, coming up to these 5. So this 5 in particular, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's all that can be. So we need all of those included, and that's the 5 done. Then we can draw a couple of dots around, fences around rather, sorry. Around there, and then this 5 is 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can have one more either there or up. Not sure yet, so that's going to have to be that. The corner here though gives us that green. So that does that, which gives us the green here, which means that this 5 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there and caps that bit off. So there's the 5 and that's across. There we go. Coming back down here, so this cow then has to come down here, so that separates that from that. That forces there, and then that's possible to be either or. Oh, okay, this, yeah, all right. Wow, I almost worried there for a second. Okay, so this is what I love about logic puzzles. So hypothetically, if we ignore the left side of the puzzle, this square could be either of them, could be green or black. But this 12 is going to impact whether that can be included or not. We don't know it yet, but eventually this 12 is going to connect to here. I'm sure of it. And when it does, either we're going to need these 3 squares or we're not, and that'll decide what that is. And I'm going to predict now, I'm going to write it down here. I think that's going to be a green, to be honest. And we're going to see if that ends up being a green. It's 50-50 chance. Doesn't really matter. Excuse me, a bit of water again. It doesn't matter either way, but I'm just going to predict it as a green just because how the patterns work and that. I think that a big slap of dots isn't going to happen. So yeah, that 12 is going to decide that for us. I'm guaranteeing you that. So that's really exciting. Okay. Next up, this 7, I think we might be able to solve a bit. So let's have a look. So this has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we go there, that'll be 6, 7, 8. So it can't do that. So we know that's going to be a green. There's that and that. That then means if we look vertically, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it has to have all of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. And there's the 7 done. And then we have a little bit more to go off. Just continuing the corners and so forth. There we go. Now this 4, so then that's got 1, 2, 3 potentially. That's the 4th. 1, 2, 3. If that was the 4th, that'd be the 5th. So it can't be there. So that's going to be walled off, and this is going to go up here. So that's the 4th there. That's green. Got to remember to draw that in, and that's a corner then of the green, and we can cap that off there. That's then another corner of green here, and we can fence that off. Another green down here. I probably had that ages ago and I've missed that, but that's okay. Caught it now. That then means this green, this box here. So these dots here need to come out, so they need to come down, and that's that. All right, so that's all connected there. So let's move down the side, bottom here. All right, having a look, this 2 under the 12, this 2 can't connect across to there because it'll be a 3, so that's going to be a cactus already there. So that's good, or an extra part of field, however you want to put it. This corner then means there's a dot there, and that's the 2 done, so that's going to be cactus, and that's in there is going to be cactus. So there we go. That then means this corner is black. this 5 has got 3 already. If we go 4, 5, that would be 6. So it can't be both there. So that at least is green, or that is. But if it's this one, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there. That then gives us the 3. So we're going to wall off the 3 in every direction. Excuse me. There we go, there and there. That then means that's separated off. Yep. Then this 4 can't connect here, because if that goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so that can't connect there. That's going to be a green in there as well, which is nice and restrictive. That then means for the 12. So let's have a look. As far as the 12 can go left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now we've got a whole lot more dots. Let's see where they all connect, how much there is. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We need 2 more. If we do the dot there, that will be 3 more. So that doesn't work. So that is going to be green like I predicted. Woohoo! Love it when it works out. All right, so counting it again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that means 11, 12, and then that gets capped on the end. Awesome. So there we go. There's our 12. All right, this 5 is 4, so that can't be there because that'll be 5, 6, 7. So that's going to be green here as well. And that means the 5th is there, and we cap the 5th there. All right, so then we have the green here, and then the green there. The green has to get out on the corner anyway. And then we go back to black to do the fencing. Alrighty. All right, continuing left. Let's see. Left corner, last little bastion of survival, so to speak. Well, it's going to be the center now, but you get the idea. 7, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That could be all the way along the bottom. However, if we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 vertically, we need at least 1 there. And then the same thing the other way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 there. So we know that that's at least those included. Alrighty, sorry, another little interruption there. But as I was saying, so the 7's got the 3 there. It could go all the way across, or if it includes any of those, it'll go part way, but that's fine for now. This cow's interesting because it's nice and trapped. So we know that the cow is going to have to come out here. So that's going to be either 2 or none for the 7, depending. We'll see. That does create us a couple of greens over here for the corners, and that's nice because it means this 3 is heavily restricted. So 1, 2, 3 is going to have to be. Could be 3 up. Actually, no, it can't be 3 up. So this is a really lovely little bit of logic here. So if this 3 was to go up there and be a 3rd, that draws a line there. That then means we have a corner and we have to fill that in as black, which means we then have 4 in a row with the 3. So this 3 cannot go up at all, has to stop there. And that means it's going to come down here. And that's the 3 there, and that means this is going to connect to the 7 over there. That then means this is a green, and we'll see if the 5 comes out in a second. With the 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 6, 7, not sure yet. So we're going to have to wait and see on that one. Something to do with this 11 will probably help us predict that. We'll see. Right, with the 5, let's see if we can solve the 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going to be a 5th there at least. I don't think we can predict it any other way at this point. So we're going to leave that alone for the minute. All right, looking at the 11. So it can't go all the way up to 3. I'm going to go from the bottom. There's a lot of restriction here. Like if it touches the 5. So, okay, let's look at it this way. If it touches the 5, we can only have 5 across here, maximum, right? So it's 5 across maximum. And then if we go down, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 to go vertically. All right. Now, this 11 can't touch the 3, so because there's only one gap, that now needs to be a green because it'll make the 3 far too many. So that's a green corner. That also means the 3 has to come out here and get capped. So that's a green, and that also means we've created a bunch of corners here with the 3. So that's now limiting all of that, and that's a dead end. The 2's now capped off. Another green corner there. That's fine. All right, so coming back down over here, I'm guessing this is going to be all green. So this is going to be one section mapped off, and this is going to be the exit over here. So is my guess. This then is a green corner also. So we know that it's going to come out here if that's the case. So going back to the 11, we now have 2 that capped off completely. So I think that might be, that's the maximum actually. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then the 5 there is 11. So that has to be all of it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah. So it's either going to be this one or this one for the 11, but that also means the 5 can't go vertically because it has to be, I need 1 more for the 11, so I'm going to gain 1 more for the 5. So that 5 can't go vertically, so there's a green there. So that caps that off, which means again it's probably going to come down and through there, but we'll see. It may not. Well, actually this 3 has to come out one way or the other, but we'll see what that's going to be. That then goes there, so put a few more fencings in just to make sure we're not missing anything in particular. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm predicting that to be a green again as well, like with over here, but we're gonna have to wait and see that all connect first. Now this green on the other hand has to come out here, which means it's going to come all the way out there. There's a green disconnect there. All right, that's there. Green corner again. So that's going to solve our 11. So our 11 has to have the 1 there, and that's the 5 and the 11 done with that one. Alrighty. Yep. So where this is going to... This could potentially be beside... Actually, this, I said it's probably going to be green. I think it actually might be a black, because I reckon this is going to have to come out down here is what's going to end up happening. So that's going to block that. Although that then leaves this part as a question as well. So maybe not. I don't know. We shall see. It's probably... Actually... So... This is fairly up in the air. The only way that can be solved then is if we have 2 parts of the puzzle, right and left, and it has to be connected through here. So we're going to look at that. That's going to be our connection at the end, I think. I think that's going to be my last little bit, and then I'll solve this little left-hand side using that, is what I'm predicting. So let's see what else we've got going on. So in the middle here, this 6 and 7 pair, they look like there's not much. I think the 9's probably the place to be. Let's try the 9 first. So if the 9 goes maximum north, south, and east, west, sorry, yeah, left, top, and bottom, that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and that would be the 9th. All right, if it goes top, left, and right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, so it wouldn't need to extend down. All right, if we make it that the top is the last direction, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1 up into there. And if we make it that the left is the last direction, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that didn't get us very far, unfortunately. I'm just trying to think. I don't think the 4 can do anything. The 2's not. We've just checked the 9. Let's have a look at this 7 and 6. So 7, if we're down here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, see, that 7's really not restricted enough, and neither is the 6. I'm kind of wondering if I've maybe missed something somewhere. Yeah, 2, 2 can go out one way. I'm just having a look at these greens. Chances are this green has to get out here somewhere, but it can't be predicted at the moment. This green has to come out somewhere as well, but it's not really shown where. It's probably going to be through there, but we don't know for sure yet, so I can't draw it in. Yeah. All right, let's have a look. I have a scan of the puzzle again just to see if I can catch anything. Top center here. So this is an isolated part. That's going to have to come down one to get out. All right, that creates a line there, which means that's a corner. And we get that situation then. 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we need it either there or over here. Well, no, we can't put it here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we go 6 there, that'll be 7. So that can't be 1. So that's going to be a green. And we've got a green corner. And then that means the 6 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 there. So that caps that for the 6. It also means the 5's got 5. So that can't be a thing either. So that's a green here. That's a green there, which is a green corner. That finishes that, which makes this a green corner, which puts a line there. Okay. Then what else does that mean for us? This bit here on the far right, that's an isolated section now. That's got to come across here to come out. So there we go. Then this whole right-hand side is all connected through this 7 section. This 10, let's check the 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Did I do that already? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I should have crossed that off a while ago, I bet. I think I forgot to cross the 10. That's fine. That's green then. So there we go. That means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for the 7. That's going to be a green. Let's double check that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. So then we've got green here, green corner. 2's trapped, so it's got to come down 1, and then it's capped. So then we have a green there. That's the 2 finish. That's got to come out, and that's a corner anyway. So there we go. All right. The 7's done. This X can't go there. It's got to get out left or right. We're not sure. This is a corner though, so that means it's going to get out on the right, and that's a black corner there, or a pen corner. I don't know what you call it. That goes there, and then there. That's going to continue coming out. So there we go. Good. All right. Then let's see. This 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maximum of 1 more down. And that means the 7 then needs to have 1 horizontally, actually. And if it's going to have 1 horizontally, 1 or more horizontally, actually, because the 6 could still go sideways, couldn't it? If the 6 goes sideways, it's 5. I need 2, so it can still go left for the 7. I thought I could have narrowed the 7 then. That's really annoying. Excuse me. Just having a look. Back at the top left, this cactus area is contained, so it needs to come out through there now. So that goes up, and then that's going to have to come across here to that one to get out. So that's that capped off like so. So that's good. That means that whole left side is contained to this point, like I said. So it's got to come down here, and the 3's got to come down here also. Section that's all connected into there. That then means that, yep, that cactus all goes up out to the top. And then I think this 9 might be more restricted. Let's have a look now. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9th one goes there. I'm going to just quickly check all the directions again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 for down, and that's a corner, so that goes there, that does that. It's 3 for the 4, can't go here because that'll gain too many. So that's a green, and that's a green corner. They're going to connect there somehow in a second. This 4 can not go up because that'll gain 2, so that's a green there. And that means that the 4th is there and it caps on the end. So that's that. That's green. That's there. This green has to come out, so it's going to go there and then across one more. Put in some fences again, and then we've got a corner for the green, so that's going to go there. That caps the 9 on that side. So 9 is at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then the 9th one goes there. Green corner again. Now, does that mean much? What that means is if we're looking at this, we have a green line going through the whole grid all the way down to here, which means this left side has to connect to this right side, and that's our connection, like I said. So that goes there to there. Now the 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that means that's a green in here. That's the 7 finished there. That's the entire left side of the grid. If I show you very quickly, I can draw a red line right through the grid here in separation. So now I know that I'm only having to work on this right side of the grid, basically. I've solved the left side, but yeah. Alrighty. So this green here has to come out somewhere. It's going to connect to that. Is that right? Yes, because it's isolated. It has to connect to that. Whether it goes up and across or that way, that means that this one here is a green. So that's something at least. Then we have, so the 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 now, because we've put the 1 underneath the 7. So that's the 6 completely capped off. And the 7 needs 1 more, can't go to the left because it'll gain 2. So that's going to be green, and it's going to go right, and that's going to be the green. And I think that should be pretty much everything done once we finish neatening this all up and connecting all the little bits and pieces. That's green, and I think we're done. Just having a quick scan. Yes, completely finished. So yeah, that ended up being probably around 45-50 minutes. I'll know obviously when I finish the video, but yeah, I'm really happy with that one. That was I must say, I feel like either my ability to spot a few connections has gotten better, or the puzzle's a bit easier than I'm used to. But I will say this left-hand side where I did that whole 12, 9, 15, 8 thing, I think that was probably a bit of a clincher on some of this. I might, if I hadn't caught that early, I might have been able to get it later when the right side sort of squished off. But to be honest, excuse me, I think this 6, 7, 9 section at the end wouldn't have been as solvable without that having been done already. So it would have, I think I would have gotten caught on that if I didn't catch it that early. So yeah, often I get a lot done, like 45, sort of 75% done, and then I get caught and I've got to find that key part. And I think that was the key part. I got it early. So that was really nice. Anyway, I really hope you enjoyed it. Honestly, would recommend this puzzle. Really love it. It's one of my favorite ones to do when I'm just sitting watching TV and I can just do little bits of it and fiddle around. And it's really great. KrazyDad has heaps of these, different sizes, lots of books again. Definitely worth checking him out for that. Yeah. And hopefully, I know there's been a lot of pen and paper puzzles lately, but I am getting a 1500 piece cardboard puzzle done soon. I'm hoping that'll be next week's video. So yeah, if you're enjoying all this, you know what to do to keep me going. And otherwise, I'll catch you next week in the next video, hopefully. All right, Mudstomp out. Bye.